Doug Boles, President, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. First of all, this is a huge facility. What does it take to run a facility like this for the Indy 500?
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. I'm fortunate that I get to represent the brand in the Speedway, but it's really thousands of people that allow you to put on the world's largest single-day sporting event. And this year, for the 100th running that we had in May, nearly 400,000 people here in this venue. It takes a lot of people to do that, but it's more than that. It's a lot of people that are really passionate about the brand, passionate about the events we have here, and that's what ties in today's announcement so well. Is that passion carries over that we have for the facility for events like the LPGA.
Well, we talk about the diversity of other events too, and this is a motor speedway, but yet, as we're doing this interview, you have a Red Bull airplane race this week. You've had the golf tournament now, and by the way, 4 of the 18 holes at Brickyard Crossing are inside the speedway. So your commitment to all these other events?
Yeah, we like to use the facility, but we want to use the facility for events that are appropriate. We could have an event here every day if we wanted to, and certainly every weekend, but we want them to be events that really mean something, so that's why you have something like the Indy 500. The air race we have this weekend is important to us because it's an international series, and we had racing with airplanes early in the days that the Speedway was just built. So having an announcement with the golf course, and it's an unbelievable golf course as it is, but to bring the LPGA event here, that really fit this brand, especially when you look at the connection of the sponsor that's going to sponsor it and the cause with Indy Women in Tech. It all just really fits with what makes being at the Speedway special. When
you talk about the economic impact of the Memorial Day weekend, and what is that current number for that entire weekend?
So we are significantly more than a Super Bowl. So when people talk about, we had the Super Bowl here in 2012, and people still say that may have been the best Super Bowl ever, the one that was hosted here in Indianapolis. That's a $300 million weekend. The Indianapolis 500 is almost $500 million, and we do it every year. So it's a significant it's a significant engine that drives the economy of Central Indiana.
I guess my point was going to be, you take that $500 million on an annual basis. Do people adequately understand the dimensions of those numbers? A lot of people glaze over when they see those numbers, don't understand the awareness factor and the jobs factor and the vendors factor. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think people really do, especially when you live here and the Indianapolis 500 happens every year and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is something you've grown up around. I don't think you really think about it that way and what it does for the community. Now, the folks in this community have an awful lot of pride that it's here, and they know that it contributes, but I don't think they know that it contributes to that level. And part of that is because it is, something that we're familiar with and we're used to. But it is more than the hotels, more than the restaurants. There's a significant cottage industry, racing industry that's here because the Indianapolis 500's here.
Well, obviously NASCAR is an important piece of your world, but you're driven and branded on the other kind of racing, the bigger kind of racing. What is the future for that? There have been rifts over time. It's better now than it used to be. Give us your perspective.
I think the open wheel racing side, the IndyCar Series side, is at a place that's maybe better than it's been in the last 30 or 40 years. The teams are pretty solid. We have drivers that people are beginning to recognize again. The Indy 500 racing has been tremendous. Even the racing of the rest of the Verizon IndyCar Series has been really strong. So I think the outlook for the IndyCar Series is pretty positive. And you're right, NASCAR is important to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway brand. We host the Brickyard 400 here, and one of the things even beyond that, I think the racing community as a whole, whether it's IndyCar racing or NASCAR Cup racing or sports car racing, we're all really trying to make sure that everybody survives well. We're trading best practices and we're trying to support each other because we are, we are a niche sport. We got a pretty significant following when you bundle them all together.
And it's hard to define an event that creates 450,000 people at one event a niche sport, but that's what people call it. Speaking of the whole genre, Formula One in this country, international Reuters audience and others, by the way, want to know, what's the future of Formula One here and elsewhere?
Formula One ran here for several years, and certainly as race fans, we watch Formula One races every weekend when they're on television. Formula One is the international open wheel superstar, if you will, and we have one race here in the United States at the Circuit of Americas. It's something that this place, we'd love to host an F1 race again here. The economics don't quite work. Right now, the way of Formula One, the economics work in Formula One, governments pay the sanction fee to allow those races to take place. So until that changes a little bit, I don't think Formula One's on the horizon here. We certainly continue to pay attention and watch it. With the Haas F1 team having a U.S. team in the sport again is helpful. Now we'll just see we get a U.S. driver in there. I think that'll begin to maybe open some more doors in the U.S. for other F1 events.
Your perspective of the entire business generally, 10 years from now, what does it look like?
Well, I think for us, we used the 100th running of the Indy 500 this year not as an ending point, but as a launching point to continue to grow the sport of IndyCar racing, and certainly the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and that brand. I think 10 years from now that folks are going to find us to be a little bit healthier. We have a younger demographic for our sport than we've had in many, many years. We've tied music into it, a lot of ways to attract new people to the sport. So I think it's going to be, it's on a trajectory over the last few years that I think we're going to continue on for the next decade, for sure, of growth in the sport.
Indy 500 and the Raceway, a fixture in Americana and beyond. Doug, thank you. Appreciate it.